Good evening. Welcome to our part two of a three-part series in reference to programs that we offer at the high school level for students to perhaps get some college credit. So tonight we are hosting the AP program at each of the high schools, as well as a little bit about the pre-AP program. But I do want to remind you that next week on Wednesday, we're going to have part three of our three-part series, which is on the Early Start Pathway program, which is the dual credit program that we offer for the students. It's not the Early College program, it's the Early Start Pathway program. So I hope you can join us next week, same time, same place, here. Also, I would like to remind anyone that requires a translating device for Spanish. Si necesitan un transmisor para español, lo pueden obtener ahí en enfrente donde firmaron. So we'll have Ms. Lanese in the back translating for our parents that speak Spanish. And then we'll have somebody from ITV today that is recording the session for those for parents that could not make it today. And we'll be posting everything you're about to hear on our website. So that way, in case you have any questions, you want to review some of the materials, you can always go back. Okay? So don't forget about next week. It's the last series of information for parents for your children related to the dual credit program. And some of these people will be back next week because they're in both programs. You also got a brochure that pretty much gives you an idea of all the courses that we offer in our district. Not all the courses are offered at every campus, it's only some of them. So just keep that in mind. Having issues with presentation. All right. So, let's get started. All right. So again, welcome. I am Mario Rosales, your Advanced Academics Director. I oversee the programs like the AP program, the pre-AP program, the Magnet program, the Dual Credit program, which is the Early Start Pathway program, and the GT program. And again, si necesito un transmisor, los tenemos ahí enfrente. Y Ms. Lanese, que está ahí atrás, está traduciendo. So I'd like to remind everyone when we speak, we do it slowly, so that way you can translate what you're saying into Spanish. So welcome parents, students, teachers, administrators, and valued members of our community. We have a lot of AP teachers in the audience, and we thank them for being here. So I would like for them to stand up and be recognized, the ones that are in the audience. And some of them are from United, some of them are from Alexander. So they're the ones that are pretty much helping your children with these courses. So I'm going to introduce to you each of the campuses that are represented here. So you do have a mic, so each of you will get to pretty much tell us who you are and if what you teach, if you're an AP teacher, and then the student, I would just like to know who you are and what grade level you're in. All right, so we'll start off with Alexander.
Hi, my name is Mercedes Oronoz, and I'm the AP Calculus AB and BC teacher at Alexander High School. These are few of my students currently, and we'll see if we can answer all your questions.
Hello, my name is Carlos Rojas, and I am a senior at Alexander High School.
Hello, my name is Camila Holguin, and I am a junior at Alexander High School.
Good evening, my name is Luis Perez. I teach AP Statistics and AP Computer Science Principles.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Guillermo Moreno, and I teach AP Computer Science A.
Good evening, my name is Michelle Lopez. I'm the Dean of Early College at Alexander High School, and I oversee our AP program as well.
Hello, United? Yes.
My name is Mr. Molina, and I teach AP Calculus AB along with my sister over there, Mrs. Chen. So,
Good evening, my name is Mr. Pilton, and I teach AP Computer Science Principles at United High School.
Good evening, my name is Paulina Marcos and I am a senior at United High School.
Hello, I'm Romina Trevino and I'm a senior at United High School.
Hello, I'm Guillermo Gonzalez and I'm a junior at United High School.
Good afternoon, my name is Mayra Gonzalez and I'm a senior at United High School.
Good afternoon, my name is Iracema Gonzalez and I'm a senior at United High School.
Hello, my name is Maria Larcon and I'm the Magnet Dean at United High School and also the AP Coordinator.
United South. Good evening, parents. My name is Senek Roma. I'm the dean of the Magnet School at United South High School, and I also oversee the AP program.
Good afternoon, my name is Adriana Cortinas and I'm a senior at United South High School.
Good evening, my name is Kaylee Perez. I am a senior at United South High School.
Good evening, I am John Praska and I teach AP Calculus at AB at United South.
Hello, my name is Maria Dolores Perez. I'm the AP teacher for Spanish language and culture.
LBJ.
Hello, I'm Juan Sanchez. I am the teacher for AP Macroeconomics.
Good evening. My name is Tim McHugh. I'm the assistant principal and for the AP program at Lyndon B. Johnson High School. Welcome.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Araceli Rios, and I am the AP English Language and Composition teacher at LBJ.
So again, welcome. We have a wealth of knowledge from this panels that we have up here, especially the teachers and the students. Some of them are probably AP scholars. Some of the teachers are also readers. They spend their summer grading exams so that way they can come back and give the students some more pointers, not points, pointers. So, some of you may be familiar with our programs, and for many of you this will be new information. Our program continues to grow and evolve. As you have heard, we have all these different programs now. So we hope you'll find this particular segment helpful with a lot of information. So this is your meeting. So we go through the information, and then at the end, we'll stop and see if you have any questions. And we have a mic in the front, and then I believe there's a mic in the center area over there. So that way you can address your question to whoever you like, whatever campus you would like answers from. All right? So we'll do that towards the end, but during the meantime, I'll give you all this information about the program, and then I'll be interjecting, asking the teachers and the students questions so that you can hear their perspective, because they're the ones that are there at their campus. I've been out of the teaching area since 2012, so I don't really remember that much. But I still do. I mean, I still see some of my ex-students when I go shopping, and they're like trying to figure out, I'm trying to figure out who they are because I don't remember what year I had. But some of them are doctors, lawyers, and that's pretty much the same path they'll be taking. And they'll still keep in contact with their teachers, and they have a really good relationship in reference to keeping in touch. All right? So, what is it that we're going to cover today? Well, we're going to talk about the courses. We're going to talk about the benefits. We're going to talk about the AP exams that are offered in May. What is it like to take AP? And also some of the next steps so that you can help your child make the best choices. And this, of course, involves your counselor from not only the 8th grade, but also the high school, because your child will be probably a freshman next year. So we do have a question and answer session at the end, like I said, and we do have microphones, so that way we can hear your question and we'll try to answer it. We also have a website. It's uisd.net. You go to the departments, and if you download the presentation there, these links are active, so when you click on the link, it'll take you to the site. So this is the site, uisd.net, and then you just look under departments, advanced academics, and you'll find all the information that we're about to share with you on that site. Okay? any of you can't find it, you can always email any of us and we'll point you towards the place where you can get it. So let's talk about advanced placement courses. Are you ready? All right. So these are the basics that we're going to cover because we only have so much time. Of course, we would like to spend as much time as possible, but sometimes that is not the case. Like today, we are excited that some of you are here, because I figured that the cold weather was not going to allow that. So, advanced placement is a program developed and overseen by the College Board, the not-for-profit organization that's responsible for the PSAT, NMSQT, SAT, and other programs and services in college readiness and college success, including the TSI, if you've heard about the TSI, that help more than 7 million students each year prepare for a successful transition to college. All right? So here's the first question to Alexander, a teacher, and I would like to ask them, why do you like teaching an AP course?
It is a challenge. We get excellent students that we need to motivate them and see the benefits of taking these classes that are going to really prepare them for what's expected in college. The students need to not only study what we give them in the classroom, but they need to go home and research for other resources and take ownership of their own education. They also encourage them to create study groups and help each other, which we do. And we give them the tools that are necessary to succeed in college. These are challenging courses with very high expectations, and the teachers, we all AP teachers have very high expectations. And I think that this is the main purpose of these courses, to prepare them for college.
Well, thank you. And we'll go to LBJ, a teacher, if you could like to answer that question.
I teach AP Macroeconomics, and I really love teaching the course because everything we learned today, it's happening in the world. I have Mr. Govic here in my class, and like today we talked about how the Fed raised the interest rate by 1/4 point, how that's helping out inflation, and just so they can know what's happening in the world. Everything that we do is theory, but we can see what's happening in the real world, and that really makes a good connection.
Thank you. That's a lot of excitement. We need to calm down. Remember, Ms. Ramirez Amparo Lanese is translating for it. So take it slow, all right? Okay, so students from United High School, here's your question. One of the students, okay. Why did you want to take an AP course?
So I took my first AP course my freshman year, and I was really scared to do so, but I really wanted to challenge myself and see if I could meet that expectation. And I've been taking AP courses throughout my 4 years at high school, and I really love it. It's challenged me in many ways, and it hasn't been easy at all, but I feel like I've grown so much as a person because of these AP courses.
Thank you. United South? Let's do it.
So I took my first AP course officially in my junior year. I took AP Calculus BC, and it has helped me to just show like my love for math. I took it because I really love math. And like I took it a responsibility for myself to get a 3 or higher on my AP exam so I could get the credit for college, so my parents don't have to use that money to pay for a class, that I could get a score so I could just do it myself.
Oh, was your teacher sitting next to you?
Oh, no, yes. With Garza.
Okay. So that you'll know, she mentioned college credit. So the beauty about the advanced placement program is that it works not just for Texas, but any place in the nation. So if you get a 3 or better on an AP exam, that transfers in terms of college credit in reference to not just in Texas, but also out of Texas. Unlike the dual credit program, it only works for Texas. All right, so keep that in mind. And the magic number is 3 or better. To get a 3 or better on the AP exam. All right? So, let's look at the courses that we offer. And they're all listed there, and you'll notice there's one in red because that's the first time we're going to offer it next year. It's AP Pre-Calculus. So the teachers are excited about the new course. We have about 15 teachers that are currently teaching Advanced Pre-Calculus, which is now going to be called AP Pre-Calculus next year. So they have to do a bunch of training this summer. So here's the question for a teacher, and we'll start off with United South. A teacher, what type of training is required to teach an AP course?
To teach the AP course, we go to summer institutes, which are week-long out at various colleges throughout the state of Texas, that prepare us to teach the class for the kids to get them up to the college standards. The classes go from Monday through Friday, and they go from 8 till 5. So it's a pretty intense class for the teachers as well to prepare the students.
So they give up a week of their summer to get trained in the area that they're going to be teaching. So United High School, a teacher, would you like to answer that question?
So aside what was right now, we also have trainings and programs that we provide. For instance, Albert.io is a really good program that's geared to like practicing AP problems and stuff like that. So we have those throughout the year. I know we had one last semester and one this semester. Also, what you said about being a reader, I just got selected again today to do from Matt, so that's awesome. We get to kind of learn from these teachers that have been, I've only been teaching 9 years, and I get to learn from teachers that have been teaching over 30 years, and all their little tips and tricks for the AP exam so that I can, you know, next semester bring that back and be able to show that to my students.
Great. I was an AP reader for about maybe 8 years. It was fun at first, but then you learn, oh, you have to grade all these exams. And there's thousands and thousands of exams that you have to grade. But it's only one question. It's not like you're grading all the questions. It's only one that you're assigned. And you have to be good at it in order to be able to be consistent. So I have a question for the student from Alexander. What is unique about an AP course that you would not be getting in a regular high school course?
I think what's unique about the AP courses offered is that you're able to surround yourself with like-minded individuals who, like yourself, also want to exceed expectations and just reach the highest possibility that you can get to within your academic capabilities, which for a lot of people here is the sky and beyond.
Thank you. LBJ student?
For me, it would definitely be the structure of the class. Every AP class is specifically catered to one particular subject, which means it is covered in more detail, thus implying a more rigid structure, which is not something that you find in every single class.
Thank you. And just to emphasize, if you look at the courses, the one that is most popular nationwide, and it's on your brochure, is AP English Language. There's a lot of students that take that course. As a matter of fact, I think on your brochure it says 11% of all the AP exams are pretty much in that area. So let's see. So, what's so good about the AP program? Well, if you get a 3 or better, the College Board recognizes you. So last year we administered about 1,709 AP exams. All right? There were 63 AP scholars, 12 AP scholars with honor, and 19 AP scholars with distinction. That was last year. AP scholars demonstrate superior college-level achievement through AP courses and exams. They receive an award certificate, and this achievement is acknowledged on any AP score report that is sent to colleges the following fall. So it is very important that you strive to get a 3 or better, because that's how you're going to get your college credit. If you get a 2, some colleges may still consider that, but not as much as a 3, 4, or 5. So make sure you aim for the 5 if you can. If you need more information, we'll give you the link where you can look up the AP Scholar program, and they'll give you some information in detail as to what it entails to become a scholar. And you get recognized during a school board meeting. We did that this past December. All right, so let's talk about the benefits. So remember, we kept using the word college. So the teachers are actually preparing you for college. If you don't take the AP exam, that's all right. You'll just have a better understanding of what it's going to be like when you go take a college course. Because the rigor that they're going to introduce you to, the information that they're going to give you, everything will help you succeed in college, even though you don't take the AP exam. So the admission process also for colleges and universities, they look at your transcript to see how many AP courses you've taken, how many advanced courses you've taken. So keep that in mind when you're planning what is it that you're going to take when you become a high school student. AP courses are interesting and rewarding academic experiences. We have here examples of the depth of knowledge that each individual possesses and the relationship that develop between students and teachers to achieve the goals that they have set themselves when the course starts. So it is a really good opportunity to earn credit. So AP, from the college admissions perspective, is, like I said, they look at your transcript. So 85% of selective colleges and universities report that a student's AP experience favorably impacts admissions decisions. So just keep that in mind. So colleges rank grades in college preparatory courses and strength of curriculum as the top 2 factors in the admission decision. AP courses tell college admission officials that students are challenging themselves and preparing for the rigors they'll encounter in their college careers. You know that most of the teachers that are on stage, they do have their masters and they also teach for Laredo College. So they are also in the dual credit program. So that's just to give you an idea how rigorous the course is. And of course, a lot of them have the experience of what needs to be done in order for your child to be successful. All right, so let's see. Got another question coming up. So this is for the teacher from LBJ. All right, one of the teachers. What impact do you hope to have on your students, and how are you preparing them for the future?
My hope is that they become confident in themselves and in their writing, and what we do accomplish in the classroom, they take it on to their college classes. And I do hope that they enjoy the class enough to say, I do want this, I do want to go to college. And it also prepares them, if they're able to go forward with the class, be successful in college as well.
Thank you. Alexander, teacher?
One of the most important things that I want to bring to the students that I'm teaching every semester is that for them to be able to take the AP exam and to pass and get a 5. And one of the ways to do that is try to get confidence in them and be able to provide them as much information as possible in order to be comfortable in the content that I'm teaching. For example, in my class is computer science A, they get 2 AP credits. They get an AP math grade, and they also get AP foreign language. So my class, they get 2 AP grades for one class, one period. So it's challenging, and it's a lot of fun. They're learning a new language, which is Java, and at the same time, they're implementing what they learned in math. And it's a lot of fun. And it's very tedious and complex, but at the end, they start enjoying it.
Mr. Moreno is also the UIL coordinator, UIL academics coordinator, and tell us how useful these courses are to prepare your kids for competition.
Definitely, like the majority of the students that are in UIL, and I'm telling you that almost every single one of them, they are like taking 5 or 3 courses are AP every semester. And the AP content that is there is a little bit more to what is covered in the UIL exam. The UIL is University Interscholastic League, and a lot of the information that is covered in the class helps them a lot, because the information that is tested on the UIL during competition, and not only do you go and compete at district and regional at state level, most of the information is college material, what is covered in the UIL, more than what is covered in AP. So it's very challenging, but our students can do it because we have awesome coaches and teachers that are AP teachers that also teach the class. So it helps them a lot.
Thank you. So let's talk about money. How is this going to save time and money? So I have a question for a student from United. How will an AP education prepare you for your future?
Hi. Over these past 4 years, I've taken multiple AP classes and I've taken 6 AP exams. Thankfully, I've passed all of them. Now, I've been able to translate a few of these exam grades for their equivalent college courses. So all in all, I think I've reduced about a semester and a half of college. I'd be finishing college in 3.5 years instead of 4 or maybe even 5, depending on the major I want to pursue. But overall, I would say that that's one of the most important parts of taking an AP class and its exam is the money and the time you will be saving. So.
Thank you. LBJ student?
Well, as I mentioned earlier in the previous question, the AP classes have a very rigid structure, which makes them more difficult, but that, although it may seem very difficult when you're a high schooler, helps you be more adequately prepared when you enter college, because it won't hit you as severely, and the shift from being a high schooler to a college student will go down, and it will be an easier transition overall.
You know that I recognize you on that video, early college video. So why are you in early college and taking AP courses?
Well, like the other students said, saving money. I mean, I am lucky enough to be part of the early college program at LBJ, which does offer me my associate's degree. But AP classes, one, I like them. They're fun. I love my AP Spanish classes. I love my AP macroeconomics class. I really enjoy them. And I mean, they do give you a GPA boost, and they do save you a lot of money and time in the future, which is just overall, it helps my future.
Thank you. A student from United South, would you like to answer that?
Hi. Yes, it does save you time in college and a lot of money. Like in the 4 years I've been in high school, I've been taking college classes and AP the same way that LBJ mentioned. To save money, it does help you to also create that college mentality. It prepares you for college to know what it's like, to already have an idea of the work of the materials and what they're going to provide.
Thank you. Alexander student?
As the fellow students have said, it saves time and money, which is essential. However, the knowledge that you gain from an AP course is unlike any other. It prepares you for college. The rigor is there. However, the teachers help you, not simplify the information. However, they help you gain as much knowledge as possible in any course that you take.
Thank you. And just to give you an idea of what other ways you can use your AP exam scores is you can gain time to study and travel abroad. I never mentioned travel, right? Travel? None of you have travel? You can also pursue a double major, or you can also have, instead of starting as a freshman in college, you start as a junior. So, I mean, those are things to consider. Even though you're still considered a freshman, you're essentially taking courses with juniors in college because you've already have completed your freshman and sophomore year. So keep those things in mind. All right. So, like everyone has said, AP courses challenge students to work and participate at a higher level. So that means that you might have to devote more time to study. Maybe because you are in band or athletics, that might affect you, but we do have a lot of athletes and band members and other students that are in extracurricular activities that are able to handle the rigor even though they're in extracurricular activities. So it can be done. So don't let that scare you. So let's talk about the exams. The AP exams are administered by the administrators that you see here on stage. They're the ones that oversee the administration of the exams at their campus. They're usually 2 to 3 hours and include multiple choice questions and free response items such as essays, problem solving, document-based questions, and oral response. So I would like to direct it to Ms. Alarcon at United. It's like as an AP coordinator, what is it that you're doing in order for the students to sign up for AP exam?
At this time, we're making announcements, to our schools. We're sending school messengers, to parents to encourage all students who are taking an AP course to register for the exam. The exams, according to their economically status that you all, wrote at the beginning of the school year, they either cost $20 or $40. But if you compare that to the price of a college course, the whatever we pay, for an AP exam doesn't compare to the amount of money that you're going to be paying in college. So right now we're just doing awareness, I guess, to all the students and their teachers to remind, their students to come and register, so they can be eligible to take this exam later on in May.
Thank you, Ms. Alarcon. And these are the individuals that pretty much run the whole show when the AP exams are taking place in May, usually the first 2 weeks in May. So I never could find them in those 2 weeks in May because they're very busy. So Mr. McHugh, what would you like to say?
Our campus, we have an established early college, and what we're doing is we're going through our AP teachers, of course. We're encouraging them and discussing with students about the benefits of it, the rigor and everything else. But we're also focusing in on some of those students. There is a GPA bump that coincides with it it coincides with the rigor and the structure that you get from the AP. But it does benefit the GPA, and there's a tremendous cost savings. We're just communicating and encouraging as many people as possible to that are in the class, of course, to take the exams. We're encouraging people to challenge tests. We had a student last year that challenged and did very well in Italian, and we don't teach Italian, so there's opportunities for students that are stronger at one item or other, and we offer the full variety of tests at our campus.
Thank you. And I keep hearing GPA enticement. So Ms. Lopez, what would you say about that?
So obviously AP courses, there is an additional 10 points added to a student's GPA at the end of the course. But if your student scores a 3, 4, or 5, then there's an added 5 points on top of the 10 towards their GPA. So they do get a definite bump in their GPA for taking the test and passing it. So it is strongly encouraged that when your child decides to take an AP course and they're going to take the AP exam, that they also continue the course through the CELAR course so that their teachers can get them prepared for the AP exam that they take in May. This way they get a full year of instruction versus just a 1 semester worth of instruction.
Thank you. This is a question for a teacher, Mr. Perez from Alexander. What's special about the AP exam that your students take and the AP courses that you teach?
What's special? Well, the test itself is challenging. I teach computer science principle, and they get actually hands-on on, they create like an app, or an app, or they get their hands-on experience, and that do it in class. So they take the time, they take at least maybe 3 to 4 weeks to prepare, but they have to do it by themselves. I do the preparation before they do that. And it's, as far as I know, they like it, they love it, because it's hands-on. And it's whatever they learn through the semester, they do it. They can work in teams, but the text itself, the application is by teams, 3, and the free response, they have to write some questions and respond them. That's individual. And at the end of May, this is done in class, the app. At the end of May, they take the actual test, which is a multiple choice. Hopefully, whatever they learn, they take it with them. It's a good application. I also teach IB stats, and the same thing is, I call it math in action, because whatever they learn there, they actually apply. And not only in my class, but they go to any field, statistics is important. So,
Thank you. LBJ, the Spanish. Tell us about Spanish exam, because I know that it's no, you're not a Spanish teacher. Who's a Spanish teacher? United South, I'm sorry. So she's going to tell us about how successful the students are taking the AP Spanish. It's one of the most popular exams in our district.
Yes, it's one of the most popular because we have a very high number of students that pass the test. And I just want to add that it targets all the skills, the reading, the writing, and speaking and audio.
Do you know how many hours Loreto College gives for passing the AP Spanish language?
It all depends. I think, Tammy, it's 9 hours, and I think LC, I'm not sure, but I think 9 hours too.
Wow, that's a lot of college credit. All right, so let's talk about cost. The AP exam is $97 per exam. But we do offer some incentives. You notice how Ms. Alarcon mentioned that she only charges $40 deposit. So instead of paying $97, she's pretty much charging $40 because the rest of it is paid by the district. So there is a late fee in case you decide not to take the exam. You don't use it, it's a $40 fee. Or also, if you like to order it past the deadline, it's another $40, so that comes out of your pocket. So that's why we always encourage the students to sign up for the exam, so that way they won't have to pay those extra fees, because that does come out of your pocket. So the deadlines are usually before November 15th in the fall, and March the 15th in the spring, but that just depends when your child is taking the AP course. If they're challenging it, if they're not taking the course, they're just challenging it, they must do it before November 15th. And like Ms. Alarcon mentioned, if you're economically disadvantaged, if you require financial assistance, the College Board provides a $35 fee reduction. In Texas, they give you an additional $39 discount. So essentially, you end up paying $23 per exam if you meet those qualifications. So in essence, I think Ms. Alarcon says she's only collecting 20 because of the administrative costs that are involved, as well as the late fees if you decide not to take it or you order it late. So just keep those prices in mind. If you want to find out how many college credits colleges and universities give you for getting a 3, 4, or 5, this is the best place to go. It's a link, and it's excellent for determining how many credits, for example, Loreto College gives you if you get a 5 on an AP Spanish language, or a 5 on the AP Calculus. AB or Calculus BC. So I'm going to try to see if the link works. Mr. Zamora is going to help me in case I get stuck. But that particular link takes me to a website. I see it moving, but I don't see it on the screen. Well, anyways, if you click on that link, it takes you to that page. And if you he's trying to see if we can do it. Is it working? No, it's not working. So you type in the course if you're interested in the course, or you type in the college. And essentially when you do that, what comes out is how many college credits you're going to get for getting a 3, 4, 5. And they pretty much list it and tell you what the deal is in reference to whatever college or university you want to go to, whether it be UT Austin, Texas A&M College Station, Texas A&M International, any of those colleges or universities that are very familiar in this area. You can find out to see how many college credits you will earn by getting a 3 or better. Any luck, Mr. Zamora? No? Okay, I'm just going to go on to the next slide. I don't want to keep you. So speaking about money, if we compare to TAMI-U, if you take one exam, it's going to be $97. One 3-hour course at TAMI-U is $1,220. So if you pay for $97 and you pass that exam, you'll be saving $1,123, just one exam. If you qualify for financial assistance, you'll be saving $1,197 because the exam is a lot less than $97. Now, if you take 4 classes, which is full-time student, the cost at TAMI-U is $3,922. For 4 exams, you'll be paying $388, so that would be a savings of $3,534 if you get a 3 or better. If you're in need of financial assistance, you'll be saving $3,830.57 because the exam is, for all 4 exams, it's only $92. All right, so keep that in mind. So what is it like to take an AP exam? I'm sorry, what is it like to take AP? So you're probably going to hear a lot of rumor, myths, and realities about AP exams from your sibling, if you have older brothers and sisters that are taking AP. So you might want to not listen to them maybe, or maybe there's a truth to some of them. So you got to be very careful with that. So just to give you an idea, AP courses are for students who always get good grades. What do you think, Alexander? No. Okay. AP courses are too stressful. Maybe. I see you guys are all relaxed and yeah, y'all don't seem to be too stressed. I don't think I will score high enough on the AP exam to get college credit. Just keep that in mind. Taking AP courses could hurt my GPA. Nope, you get extra points. You have to make sure you get a 70 or better though. I can't take AP because no one has recommended me. What do you think, Mr. Croma?
The AP program has what they call an open enrollment, and we try to communicate this to students even before they get to the point of taking an AP class. As soon as they get to high school, we let the counselors know when they are having pre-registration to make it known to them. And if I'm to go to the myths that Mr. Rosales is talking about, really that is one of the barriers that keeps a lot of students from getting into AP classes. because they listen to what other students are telling them more than anything else. But what we tell them is, if you really manage your time, every kid in our high schools should be able to take an AP class, every kid. But the challenge with our students is the most beautiful technology that this generation has given us has become the most detrimental kind of thing when it comes to using our time sometimes. And as parents, we need to be working hard constantly to be sure that we have them pay attention to studying other than spending time watching television or being on their phones. The idea that they don't know is really not what it is. They do know, sometimes they pretend not to know, but AP has an open enrollment, meaning every student is and can enroll in the classes and take an AP exam.
Thank you, sir. And Ms. Lopez, you mentioned CELAR courses. Can you tell us a little bit about them and how much do they add points to them as well, the CELAR courses?
Yes. So the CELAR courses are an extension of the AP course. And so if the student passes the exam, that's where the benefit comes in, because they've added the additional 5 points to their GPA, their overall GPA, you know, for the course. So the benefit of taking the CELAR course is that they're going to be very well prepared for the AP exam. So if they only take the AP course, but sign up and take the AP exam, then they're gonna, at the end of the day, they're relying on themselves to study or attend our tutorials that we do. So instead of getting the additional support that they can get through the extension of the CELAR course.
Thank you. And Mr. Molina, you mentioned something about another program that we offer the students to help them prepare for the exams.
Albert.io, yes?
Tell us a little bit more about that.
So Albert.io, it has really good problems, multiple choice and free response. Yes, free response for math. And so very rigorous stuff there, and really geared towards the AP exam. And it has like everything there. The kids can do, I can assign an assignment to them, or they can even do independent study. And so we use that in our class, and mostly for independent study, and that's just another resource.
Thank you. Mr. Pilton, you know that the CELAR course is 10 extra points added to their GPA. So how do you use that CELAR course to prepare your students for that AP exam?
Yeah, we actually don't offer a CELAR course
No.
for AP Computer Science Principles, no.
So you only need one semester,
Yes.
and that should be enough.
Oh, absolutely.
All right. But you do, right? Okay. All right. So you heard it from the expert.
Yes, so my sister over there, Mrs. Chen, she also teaches calculus AB, and myself were the two CELAR calculus teachers. And so it's just, we're able to do tons of practice free response questions, tons of multiple choice questions. So it's just additional time to be able to do that, and then go over, you know, stuff that we went over last semester as well, and continue going over stuff. So very, very beneficial. We always tell our kids, hey, you know, take the CELAR course, and we usually have a very good, I guess, amount of students that continue on. So, yeah.
So I'm going to ask a United student that hasn't participated yet. We're going to get personal here, up close and personal. So here's the question. Have there been any AP teachers that have really impacted your life or career choice?
Yes, actually. There's been several. So in my sophomore year, I took 4 AP classes, which was really stressful. And I took this one teacher for AP Human Geography, Ms. Salazar. And she was a really helpful teacher, as she helped me manage my time, and specifically she helped challenge me to be better prepared for the courses and for the AP exam, so that was really nice. And she really bettered my life, as now I have much better time management. And now this semester I'm taking another 5 AP classes, And one of the teachers that has mainly impacted my life so far is actually the calculus teacher that I have, Ms. Chen. She's in the stands, if you can see her.
Extra point.
Yeah. She also helped me a lot with my time management, and especially also with learning materials in a way that I haven't seen possible before, if that makes sense. Thank you.
I believe there's another student that hasn't contributed, right?
Yes.
Oh, there she is. It's the other person. Yeah. I thought it was her. Yeah. Give her a chance. Yeah.
I just want, I've also, of course, had teachers that have impacted my high school experience, but as an AP student, I would have to say that, like, one of the teachers that impacted me the most was Miss McBee. She's right there. She, even though the class that I took for her was the CLAR class, and I had taken the first semester AP English Language Arts class with another teacher. Her CLR class, I don't think I could have passed the test with a 4 had it not been for her class, because I had already obviously knew how to write the essays that we had to write and the questions that we had to answer for the test, but her class helped me understand my style of writing, and it helped me understand that writing isn't just strict and to the point, that there's so much that you can do with it, and I was able to figure that out for myself, and it made the test a lot easier than it could have been, which could have been a lot harder. So I'm really thankful to her. And also Mr. Molina, he's right there. I took he was my calculus teacher, and even though I really don't like math, I really loved his class. I had so much fun in his class, and a lot of times, even though I don't like math, again, the concepts were really interesting, and I really did have a lot of fun, and it really was very worth it, and the teachers are probably one of the best parts of the AP classes.
Thank you. LBJ? Student?
Well, in particular, I remember my sophomore year, which was online year for me. I was taking an AP Bio class, and by far, it was the most rigorous class I have ever been through, but the instructor, Mrs. Gidwani, was very supportive, and she really taught me a very valuable lesson. And I remember this one instance. There was an occasion in which I was panicking. It was the first year I started worrying about rank and GPA, and she put me on a personal, Google Meets, right? Because we weren't in a typical classroom setting. And she just told me that not everything is about grades, and that a number on a screen or on a paper does not define you. And ever since she taught me that lesson, I have been carrying it with me. And along with all of my other teachers, they have all taught me something very valuable that I still carry with me.
Thank you. United South? Student?
So for me, it was my calculus BC teacher, Miss Mary Lou Garza. She's no longer in our campus, but she was a teacher that will stay with me forever. She gave me my love for math. She made it so fun, and she did not belittle you for any information that you needed reiterated in a different way. She will make sure that you got what you needed so you could pass the AP exam and carry it with you to your future career or your future degree. And as I tried to pursue a astrophysics degree, she really made me pursue a minor in mathematics as well, which I love math. And she lit up the classroom, and it made me just beyond in awe, in her class.
Thank you. Alexander, student?
A teacher that has had a big impact on my high school experience has been my AP statistics teacher, Mr. Santa Cruz. He has really brought to light the extent that math is present in our world in all aspects, not just in school. He really showed me how in-depth that math can go, and he really taught me lots of valuable lessons how to manage your money, how statistics in the world can be misleading. And I just really think that I'll take a lot of lessons that I learned in his classroom with me throughout my entire life.
Oh, he also jams out on that guitar, right? Electric guitar. I've heard about that. All right. Okay, so then the next slide is pretty much what is it that you're going to do to help your child? So the first thing you need to do is start a conversation with your child to see what is it that he's interested. So you need to talk to him about, or her, what AP course is right for them? And what steps do you need to take in order to get to that point? So from this point forward, you might start researching whatever courses you would like to take. You have the brochure. So that way you can ask when you go to your 9th grade counselor what courses are available for that grade level, because every course is by grade level. So be careful with some of those courses that might not be offered till you're a sophomore, unless you've already taken Algebra 1 as an 8th grader. Then that could be a possibility that you can take other courses that are not open for example to freshmen or seniors. So keep that in mind. So at this time, I do have a bunch of links that you can go to on your own time, where you can actually find more information about what we discussed. Especially try the last one, because that's the one that I told you about, that you can click on it and pretty much play with it in reference to what college you would like to consider for your child, or your child is considering, so that they can get an idea of whether getting a 3, 4, or 5 on an AP exam will give them credit or not. So keep those things in mind. So again, all this information will be posted on our website. And these are the individuals that are here today. In case you want to get a hold of them, I gave you their phone numbers at school, so that you can ask them more questions in case you couldn't find the answer. So that would be myself. I'm listed first. Michelle Lopez from Alexander, Mr. McHugh from LBJ, Ms. Alarcon from United, and Mr. Coroma from United South. And I really am very grateful to them, because they're the ones that pretty much take the lead at their campus, trying to promote these programs, because it is competitive now that we have early colleges, that we have the Early Start Pathway, and we have the magnet programs as well. Now with the magnet programs, you do have to take these courses, or dual credit courses, as part of the program requirements. Okay? So if you're in the magnet, you can also do Early Start Pathway, you can also do pre-AP and AP. If you're in early college, you heard from the student from LBJ, you could also take AP courses if you can fit them in your schedule. So just keep those things in mind, and right now we'd like to open it up for questions. We have the mic up here. I think you just have to turn it on, and there's a mic back there, so that way you can come up and ask questions and address it to whatever school you like, and we'll try to give you the best answer possible.
Good evening. In the brochure, it's mentioned that note individual course offerings vary according to campus and semester. So I would like to address the questions to the admin. How many AP courses are you offering in each campus?
We'll start off with Alexander.
I believe there is a total of 27 AP courses that we do offer. Usually the ones that we don't offer tend to be some of the foreign languages, like the AP Japanese, Chinese, the AP Italian, but otherwise I think we offer almost everything. If a course doesn't make it, it would only be because we couldn't get enough students interested in the course, which happens to be for us right now is our AP Comparative Government. But we're trying. So I want to say it's a total of 27, if I'm not mistaken, that we offer.
United?
I was trying to count them, but I'm going to go with the same thing with Alexander. It's the courses that we do not offer is because there's not enough students that they request that particular course. Because at any given point, even if we don't offer the course, the students, if they come the year before, they come and say, hey, Ms. Alarcon, we want to, have a comparative government course. All we ask is that they sign up, we start kind of like a petition, and then we just try, our very best to provide the teacher with knowledge throughout the summer, right? So we can offer the course in the following year. The courses that we usually do not offer, of course, is French, Italian, like all those, Chinese, Japanese, there's some courses that we just do not offer them because we do not have enough students to take the course.
Thank you. Mr. Kuroma?
Yeah, we may not have enough students, or like in the case of Japanese, we do not have the teacher who may be able to teach Japanese. But the point of the matter is this: a kid can take any AP class at any time, even when it's not offered. Therein comes the concept of them challenging a class. I think I heard my colleague talking about a student from LBJ taking an AP exam in Italian. So if our kid wants to take an exam in Italian, Japanese, whichever AP exam, we will work with them. Somebody mentioned Albert Online that has a lot of resources that students that usually are in AP classes to start with are self-motivated. So a student who wants to take any AP exam, they will work with us and we will point them in the direction where they will be able to have the resources they need to take the exam and be successful.
Thank you. Mr. McHugh?
Mr. Groma had said a great, the way he expressed it is quite accurate. We will offer any exam that's challenged. It doesn't just simply depend on how many students are interested. We had students that were interested in taking computer science principles, so we added that this year. The previous year, we added physics that we had not offered previously because that's what the students had wanted. So as we gauge interest and get more interest, we can open up more and more AP courses, but we do offer all the tests. So if somebody wants to challenge, we'll do everything we can to help them.
Thank you so much. My follow-up question actually was already answered by Mr. Koroma. So if the student would like to challenge and it's not being offered, how can we help them? It's going to be very challenging.
Yes, there is no question. An AP class, whether you're in a class or you're challenging it, it's going to be challenging. And that's where we say to students, we do not offer Japanese, but there are resources online that you're going to be using to study on your own to be able to take this particular exam. We wish we could offer every exam there is that a student is interested in, but just because of the logistics of it, sometimes it is not possible. Now, in terms of the general subjects and courses students need for them to be successful in college, those courses are being offered across the board. There comes a time when there is a student who is interested in Italian, Japanese, for whatever reason, for self-fulfillment. That is a little bit different. We do not discourage them. We encourage them to enroll, register for the class. We cannot provide the class support for you with a teacher, but we can point you to places where you can find resources that can help you prepare for the exam.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. We have another question back there. Go ahead, ma'am.
Yes, I just wanted to know if a pre-AP course is required to take the AP class, or you can just take an AP class.
Go ahead, Ms. Alarcon.
Not necessarily, but the pre-AP courses do help the student, before they take an AP course. For example, a pre-AP English 1 and pre-AP English 2, they will prepare them for them to take the AP language, which is English 3. So if they take those courses, they're going to be a little bit more prepared. They already, are used to using the College Board website, and the assignments that they're being asked to do on those pre-AP courses, the student is, whenever they go into an AP course, they're going to be a little bit more prepared. So we do recommend that, for students to start with the pre-AP courses.
Okay, thank you. And from what I got with what was explained also is that anybody can take an AP exam without having to take the courses.
Correct.
Okay, and then I didn't really understand these CLR courses after an AP class. Like if somebody's taking AP biology, there's that CLR course after, or?
Not necessarily. The CELA is an extension of a class. Let's say, for instance, calculus. Our students take an AP calculus class. Because sometimes of the material that needs to be covered, it is not necessarily possible that they may be able to cover everything in just one semester. So the CELA stands for college readiness that a kid will have to college level academic readiness. So it gives them an opportunity to learn in depth about the material so that they will be more than ready for the exam. So it's not every AP class that has that CELA component. It is just some of the classes that do have that.
Okay, thank you.
So in essence, they're taking the course all year long versus just one semester.
It allows the teachers to extend out the units because unfortunately we teach semester-long courses. It's 18 weeks. And so sometimes there's things that have to be, taken out from units so that we can be able to meet our timeline, especially at the high school level. There's a lot of things that also come into play. We offer an SAT exam, PSAT exam in the fall semesters. Same thing in the spring semester, we offer the SAT. So there's times when, we have to pull students out, necessarily for these different exams and stuff. So by the student taking the CELR course, it allows the teachers to extend out those units and be able to cover the components that maybe they weren't able to cover in the semester.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. One more?
Hello, good evening. I have two questions. The first one, how many times can a student take the AP exam, like one AP exam? Let's say that they don't pass it, how many times can they take it, or is it only one time?
If they don't pass the AP exam, they can technically take it as many times as they want until they pass the exam.
Thank you. The second question, I do have a sophomore and a junior student. They took AP courses, their freshman and their sophomore year for the junior. And so can they challenge those tests?
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, again, we really appreciate you being here today, and we thank the ITV department for being here as well, because we'll be sharing all this information with the rest of the parents and students that were not able to be here. And thank you, Ms. Ramirez, Ms. Lanese, for interpreting some of these words into Spanish for our parents that would like to hear it in Spanish. Just a reminder that next week on Wednesday, we'll have the early start pathway information. And in case your child is going to be part of the early college lottery, if they don't get selected for early college, there is the early start pathway. And if you want more information, we'll be here next Wednesday, same time, same place. And we, again, thank you for joining us, and we appreciate everything that you do for your child. And a round of applause for the people that were up here. Can't do it without them. Thank you. Y'all have a good evening.